I still don't know how
We
this
did it.
show
Oh, we
works.
did it. We are a little bit late.
We're running a little bit late, but we did push the go live button.
And it worked.
And it did work.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
It is.
Every time it happens, I'm impressed.
Yeah. When Phil's not here, it's always a little bit of a
a little bit of a crapshoot. I already turned the volume up,
I know,
but thank you for pushing it again.
Then the TikTok people can also hear better.
That makes sense. Hey, everybody, and welcome to another episode here of the Wish You Were Beer Show. If you're unfamiliar with us, this is a live beer show that we try to do every Thursday at 8 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes it's 8:01 p.m. Eastern. Sometimes it's 8:05.
Technically, when we hit the go live, it was still 8 o'clock. It may have been like 8 o'clock and 30 seconds, but close. I'm gonna say we did the right thing.
I'd say good. Close enough for government work, but they're shut the fuck down. So we're actually doing better than. As you can see down there at the bottom of the screen, I'm Daniel. This is Tiffany. If you're familiar with the show, our co-host Phil is busy doing a musical in New Jersey.
Yeah.
Statements I thought I'd never make as an adult, but Phil's doing a musical in New Jersey, so he's unavailable.
Yeah. So it has been just Daniel and I for a little while.
For 84 years.
It 87 years.
Is it 87?
I thought it was 87.
Okay, yeah, fair.
Yeah. Anyway, so it's been us. We apologize, but you're also welcome.
Yeah, true story.
Unfortunately, we don't have a full review from Phil.
Yeah, Phil's had a busy week leading up to opening night for his musical that he's doing. Yeah, it is tomorrow. Right. So he's going to be posting his review of this beer later on our Instagram. You can see it scrolling down there at the bottom. Make sure you follow us on Instagram if you don't already. You can also follow us anywhere you get your social media. So Facebook, Instagram, TikTok, sort of what used to be Twitter, but not really. I mean, it's there.
I think did I tell you I think I recovered my account? Like I thought my account was totally deleted. I don't know.
Okay.
I just logged in and it worked once.
If you haven't been to our website either, wishyouwerebeershow.com. We do have a wonderful merch store there. You can see it, the QR code.
Yes.
So if you would like to support the show, that's probably one of the easiest ways that you can pull that off. Buy a shirt, buy a hat, buy a fanny pack.
We have a fanny pack.
We do have a fanny pack.
We have a really obnoxious but super cool jacket.
It's a one of one.
It's there is. If someone purchases it, we will take it off of the website.
Yes.
So if it is available, it's on the website.
True story.
That you could be a one of a kind.
Could you even imagine?
Of just man.
I don't even have Reddit anymore. Kevin, what happened? So I'll just follow your car. It's fantastic. So Tiffany and I have been doing this show live from TikTok as well.
Yes.
So if you are on TikTok, Wish You Were Beer Show, we're actually live on TikTok from the side here. Yep. So you can tell that we wear pants. And that's really the only benefit of seeing us live on TikTok is that we do have legs. And
during cutscenes when no one can hear or see us, they can.
This is true, yes. So when our audio cuts out, you can hear me swearing at how much I fucked something up.
Or just us making really dumb jokes.
Oh, yeah, that too.
That's usually what it comes down to.
So if you're in the comments here or if you're in the comments on TikTok, let us know what you're drinking tonight.
Yes.
We're excited tonight. We do have a guest with us tonight, which is always exciting to talk about somebody's beer and somebody's brand. But tonight we are doing the Fredericksburg Lager out of Red Dragon Brewery. They're in Fredericksburg, Virginia, naturally, hence the name. We were lucky enough to swing through there a couple weekends ago on our way back from DC. So really excited. That'll be our third time to the brewery. So it's always nice to kind of have a out of the local area brewery that we're familiar with and that we spent time in the tap room.
Yep.
And then also get to have them on the show, which is always fun. So we will be getting to that momentarily after I find out what the hell Tiffany is drinking.
Kombucha. It's kombucha. It is not a sour. It's kind of a sour, but it's the
I saw a really dark red drink, and I was like, oh.
I know. I was like, I gotta finish before the show, but then I was like, I can't just be like chugging kombucha. Like no one needs that. No one needs that in their life.
This is true.
Myself included, even though I do require drinking it. But
requires the bitch.
I require it. No, yes. I just. Anyway, it's kombucha. I felt like I wasn't going to get called out by Daniel, but that's fine.
That's what I do.
Yeah.
Welcome to marriage.
Love it. It's fantastic. Favorite.
Well, listen, I'm not going to waste any more time making fun of you for drinking gut healthy drinks. Like I said, we do have a guest tonight. We've got Mark joining us from Red Dragon Brewery, which is always exciting. So I'm going to play a fancy clip that lets me know that we have a guest on the show more than anything else, but also lets Mark know that he's about to come on live with us. So let's roll. Mark, what's up, buddy?
Uh-oh. You're on mute.
You're muted. There he is.
Nope.
Oh, there we are. We're doing it twice now. and here we go.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Is it reversed or is it showing properly?
No. We can see it.
Yeah, it shows properly on our end.
Right. We just realized like last week that we were
reversed. Now I want to know, why is your label different than ours?
So the other label, the label I just showed you, when we can get a mobile canner in, we'll do 16 ounce to go packs for that. Oh, and nice. So we had a contest here in town. And then, by the way, if you guys, when you crack that, let me know, because I have mine ready to go. And I
finished my kombucha, so I'm ready.
Yeah, sure. or whatever it is you're drinking there.
Yeah, exactly.
So this is basically a caricature artist rendition of downtown Fredericksburg. And so we did a competition. Oh, shoot. I guess this is before COVID, I think, that we did that. When the brewery business was super fun.
Yeah.
COVID kind of put a damper on a lot of things, across the planet. Sure. But on breweries and all this stuff of, oh, wait, you can't come in. You have to have a mask. You have to do that. And you guys are in Virginia. We're in Virginia.
Yep.
I never failed to plug something else. I also have another brewery that's down in North Carolina called Railhouse Brewery, and it's near Fort Bragg.
Okay, nice.
So just a quick little thing. During COVID, my partners before, they were up here taking care of this brewery, and I was down at my other brewery. And during COVID, it was interesting to see the differences in what rules were going to break or what rules were enacted and which rules were flexed and all that other stuff. It was and you guys aren't close enough to the border. I'm sure you guys ventured in North Carolina a bit and could see that stuff as well.
Yeah, it's weird how much state to state some of that varies. We're all doing the same thing.
Same thing with like distribution as well.
Let's not even go down that route today.
All right. We'll skip distribution.
No, I'm kidding.
State laws.
I'll talk about anything you guys want to talk about.
Let's start with the easy thing.
Shoot.
How long have you guys been in business, and where do you come from before Red Dragon Brewery?
Let me track that while we're.
All right, so Red Dragon Brewery, the idea came around for actually opening a retail spot, came around about 2011, 12, something like that. There's a guy his name is Tom Evans. He was a home brewer, and he registered the Red Dragon Brewery. He's of Welsh descent.
Okay.
So if you look at the Welsh flag, it's the same thing except no beer in the guy's hand.
Yeah.
So he was home brewing some beer, and my background is I was in the military, and I'm also a pilot, and I was working all over the world, and I was back visiting my brother here in Fredericksburg, and I'm originally from Fredericksburg area. Okay. And my brother says, "Hey, you want to go over and see Tom? He's he's brewing some beer." Back this is like I say around 2011. Okay. And I say this in jest. There could be some truth to it. Nobody can really remember because that's a long time ago. I'm not sure whether I was getting set up or not. Hey, they're looking for an investor. Maybe this guy has some money.
That's exactly what it was. Yep.
We're familiar.
I like where you guys are going with that. Yeah. So, anyways, we went over to his house, and all the beers he had were very good. And he also made some mead as well, which was super clear, super nice. It was a great time. And then he was talking about, I'm thinking about opening a brewery. And at that time, they had just changed the laws in Virginia, in 2009, 10 time frame. Yep. So that you could open a place.
You didn't have to just give tours and 2 tasters and they could take to-go beer.
Correct. And I had been, before I went in the Army, I was in Fredericksburg and I was a bartender downtown. So I knew a bunch of this stuff. And there was a brewery here before called Blue and Gray.
Okay.
They were bought out by Adventure Brewing, which is in the area now.
Yep.
But they were the first ones in the area, and it was so kind of funny at that time of like, oh, you can go to the brewery and you can have a taster, but you can't really taste the beer.
Right.
And we're expecting you to take it home. I always thought that was a crazy theory.
Yeah.
Because I think at that time, I may have been living in like Louisiana in the Army, which, you can walk down the street with a beer in your hand and all that.
Mm-hmm.
Here, the Gestapo would come and, throw you under the street for breathing alcohol out of your breath.
True story.
Yeah. So anyways, that's kind of the background of like, I was from this area. So he was talking about it. I said, you know what, having a brewery here in town, I think it's a great idea in my hometown.
Sure.
So I'm willing to be part of that. Well, we kicked the can down the road a few years for family reasons and stuff like that of, being able to get everything. You don't want to go half-ass with some of this stuff. So, we wanted to do it right. And so around 2015, they reached out to me again, or Tom did, and we had another guy involved at that point. His name was Dan Baker. And yeah, man, let's do this thing. So we started outfitting this building that you guys stopped by and visited. And it started off as a car dealership in 1917, and we think it was Buick. I think that's what it was.
That's what I read that online, actually.
The front and all that stuff. So and the last thing it was a laundry and dry cleaners for Goodwill Industries. Okay. So when you donate clothes and stuff, it was just a big ass warehouse. The windows were boarded up and all that stuff. So I was out of the country flying, working for an airline at the time, and my partners, man, they did a great job getting volunteers and everything to help revitalize this building and stuff. So we made it what it is, and we opened in 2016, and been open ever since, which is kind of a big deal to make it through COVID and all those things, to just be here and serve the community. And we've done a lot of different directions of, like I say, COVID changed a lot of things, and we would do live music, we would do trivias, we do all kinds of every gimmick that every brewery has out there.
Sure.
And some of them we innovated in. One of the things that we were famous for in the beginning, and we were in the top 25 of Untapped in the late teens.
Can't go wrong, right?
Now, part of that is Untapped was a new thing, so it was also, so I take that with a grain of salt that we were in the top 25, but
but still,
we're also, my brewer Cody. He was the guy who brought fruit sours, heavily fruited sours, to the area. Nobody had those before.
Yeah.
And the second year we were doing those is when we got invited to Snallygaster.
Oh, nice. Yeah, cool.
So, and Snallygaster is a great deal. It's next, I think it's, is it this weekend or next weekend?
It's October. I remember.
I can't remember. It's Veterans Day weekend or it's Columbus Day weekend.
Okay.
Anyways, I'm not going this year. I've got so many other things going on. So I went last year as a patron, not as a. We didn't provide any beer this year or last year, but it's an invitation only operation. It's not just hey, pay your dues and go. Right. You get invited, and it's a great thing, and they donate a lot of great money to great causes and stuff like that. Yeah. So to go to that and be nationally and almost internationally recognized at this point for a small little brewery that brews 4 barrels at a time in Fredericksburg, Virginia, was pretty awesome.
Well, and I think that's a crazy thing too. You mentioned starting in the mid-teens and kind of kicking that can and making it through COVID and coming up on your 10-year anniversary. I mean, Fredericksburg's grown up quite a bit since then as well. I mean, there's other breweries in the neighborhood now. There's a competition. But every time we're out there, I still always get the feeling like it's not just a beer community, but it's such a tight community, whether you're in a restaurant, a brewery, like it's such a, I don't want to say quaint town because that sounds,
I know.
But you know what I mean?
But you're right. It's a quaint town. It's a big town kind of, and it's expanded. I mean, if you guys came through here when I was growing up, like on 95 on the west side, there was nothing there. Actually, side note, I worked at where the big shopping center and all the restaurants and stuff are. It was a Sheraton.
Okay.
It was a farmhouse and had a big golf course, and I was a lifeguard at their pool. You know what I mean? And it was rolling hills and all that. And now it's, you can't go down Route 3 more than 100 meters without hitting another stoplight.
I was like, if you're lucky, you get 2 at a time.
right. Yeah. Which where you guys live is very similar too. I mean, just the growth down in your area is tremendous. And,
especially in the brewery scene too.
And that's what I say. The
our
brewery
neck
scene,
of the woods,
tremendous.
Yeah, which is a good thing. I mean, I think like some of our friends say all the time when it comes to brewers and breweries and all of them doing well, I mean, a rising tide lifts all boats. So if everyone's doing well, everyone's doing well.
It is. However, I just had a guy talk to me today. He says, "What does it cost to open a brewery?" Like,
expensive as well.
And I just flat out told him, I say, "Do you have $1 million?" And that was not even in the vernacular 10 years ago, and definitely not 15 years ago. It was in the, hey, if you got some friends and everybody had $50,000 that they could get their hands on, you could get something started.
Right.
Correct.
But now you've just got to have a lot of money, and now the competition. And I tell all these people who think they want to get in the brewery business, and I don't care about the competition per se. It's not me telling somebody don't get into this business because I'm scared of you.
Right.
It's, hey man, it's a pizza graph, and you can only slice that pizza so many times. And do you want everybody to starve or whatever? And it's just think about it before you get into that business. And I'm not trying to be anti-open a brewery, but
no, understood.
People have to be realistic about business. I mean, the same thing applies to restaurants.
Alcohol consumption is dropping year by year at this point. So to your point, your pie is shrinking. We've been in, what is the shrinkflation? Sorry.
Right. Yeah, I think that worse than a Snickers bar, right?
Right. Yeah, exactly. Everything's fun sized now. So again, if you're just joining us, we are drinking Fredericksburg Lager. It's from Red Dragon Brewery out of Fredericksburg. He has the actual can art. I have a Crowler can art. It's actually rare we get to drink a Crowler on the show, so I thought that was kind of fun instead of a 16-ounce can like normal.
It's because we want you to have more friends.
I trust me.
It's just the two of us. We'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll be fine. Yeah. So let's talk about the Fredericksburg Lager. So is this? I mean, we could already crack it. We're having the beer as we speak.
Yeah.
Is this a flagship for you guys? Is this year round?
And so we'll track back on that. So when the microbrewery business kind of kicked off, there wasn't a lot of lagers.
Yep.
Because people wanted to go to breweries to have not a lager.
Correct. You can get that in the grocery store. Right.
Whether it was get a Hefeweizen, whether it was get a sour or a hazy IPA or a West Coast or anything, just to get something different was what it was. And maybe a little bit of kick in the pants of some ABV, right?
If I'm paying $8 for a beer, let's get a higher ABV.
Sure, yeah. Or even if you weren't paying $8, it was just get something of variety that had taste, know? Excuse me. So because that's some great Fred Lager. We have a few different lagers we came up with, but with it being Fredericksburg Lager, it's kind of one of those we want to keep that name around for it. Sure. And it's not as crisp as some people look for, but I think it's flavorful. It's got a little bit of sweetness to it. But when we came up with it, it was my old partners, and I pretty much solely own the brewery now with my brewer. And they wanted to step away for life changes and all that stuff. That's just exactly. So, but as I mentioned before, I have another brewery that's in North Carolina, and we're quite a bit bigger, and we distribute to the whole state and all that thing. And so we saw in the industry there's a lot of breweries that would, as one of my partners said before, they would brew styles, right? So we make IPAs. Or we make a series of IPAs, or however you want to do it, or a series of lagers. And I think we have registered in Virginia like over 100 names, which at $30 a pop was kind of a pain in the ass.
Sure.
But we would have a huge rotation of beers on. And when I got more involved, when I was traveling so much, I would get in there and say, hey, man, we need to have some flagships. We need to have, or anchor beers, or whatever term you want to use for it.
Sure.
Because we can have the craziest wazoo, whatever, IPA or sour or something like that, or a super barrel-aged stout or anything. And those are great. But when the guy comes in the next time and we don't have it, then we need to have a few that he's like, hey, man, I've been in there once and I really like their lager, or I like their red, or I like their whatever.
Well, and also something for the regulars to drink on hey, I like this beer and this is where it is.
Correct. And so we had a little bit of a difference of opinion on that. And when I sort of taken over operations and all that stuff of the place, I said, I told my brewer, I said, we're going to do this, and we're going to keep this. And yeah, if we run out of it for 2 weeks, that's one thing. That's not a systematic problem. But
it's not a twice a year beer, right?
There was a lot of thirsty people coming in town, or whatever, and I'm good with that. But like we double batch this every time we make it, because again, lager is the most drank beer on the planet.
Yep.
So that's where specifically the Fred Lager is one of those things. And I added in our St. David's Stout and said, hey, let's keep that on. And we mostly kept that on, but I'm like, no, we don't need to run out of that. And we don't need to run out of our, one of the things that helped us get going was the brother of one of my partner founders I went to high school with, and he's a competitive bicyclist.
Okay.
And so we have one called Road Rash Red.
Yep.
And so, we all know how that comes. So that's a wonderful red, and not a lot of people keep reds on, right?
That's right.
As a standard, but there's a lot of people that love them, and so that's another one of our ones that stays on, and we make an ESB that stays on too, because not a lot of places.
And thank you for that, because it's one of our favorite styles.
Yeah.
Oh,
and
thank you.
It's a beautiful beer.
And we have the beer engine that will alternate the ESB, our stouts, and then occasionally I put the Road Rash on there, but I think all of those beers will appreciate it.
Yeah.
But I think the ESB, the stouts, and beers of that nature, or if we do a porter, those do a lot better on that. And people are used to drinking those a bit warmer than they are even with a red. Even though the red,
at least hope they are.
Very temperature. It doesn't matter about the temperature of the red. I think the flavor comes through perfectly all the time. And we had, that was one of those homebrew recipes that had 50 different recipes. And so we parsed it down, especially once I got involved operationally. That I was like, all right, we're gonna make it malty, because it went from like a red IPA to a very malty red, like almost amber, a reddish amber, kind of super malty. So I have it where it's got a bit of a maltiness with a little bit of hops to it, So, in that case, I'm making beer I like, which doesn't necessarily keep
if
it
it sells,
but
that's good.
Exactly.
But it's a constant seller too. It's one of those, like I say, flagships or anchor beers that stay around.
Well, and I think when you look at your labeling and you look at your logo and your branding, most people are going to recognize that to be Welsh. Most people are going to recognize it to be a little more British, if you will,
or at least like authentic beers.
So if traditional brewing,
right.
So if I go in there and there's not an ESB, I'm going to be like, well, what the fuck is this label for? I don't understand.
right. Damn it.
Yeah.
So now again.
Yeah. So you said you guys brew on a 4-barrel system?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So I mean, you're double batching the shit out of this beer then.
Yeah. And it was, when you get into business and you're new to it, you don't know what you don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And if I had it to do over again, we'd have a 7-barrel system.
Yep.
Because it's just like that 4 to 5 barrels is just enough to make you angry.
Just enough to piss you off.
Right. And
your pilot system.
Yes.
At that point.
Yeah. And again, I'm a swap back and forth about my other place too.
Sure.
So down there we had we have a 15 barrel system that we do, and we'll double batch that for all of our production distributed beers and stuff. But one of the things that when I got involved there, so it's a very symbiotic relationship of I was in this brewery first, so it's a small scale system.
Yep.
And then when I got down there, and I got invited into that brewery from a coworker.
Okay.
I don't remember if I mentioned this before. My real job is I'm a pilot. So I was working with this guy. We did some other stuff, and he lived down there, and the brewery wanted to divest. The original guys wanted to divest. And he says, "Hey, man, are you interested? Because
do you have $1 million?"
Yeah, right. And do you want to make 500,000?
Right. Do you want to lose money? I've got a gig for you.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're gonna have to wait it out. It's long term. You got to keep your fingers crossed. And you got to have a magic 8-ball every once in a while. It's.
But the little sales point of that place is we have a liquor license and we have a restaurant. So it's a different animal than a lot of breweries.
Yeah, and that's a difficult thing to pull off in Virginia with all the licensing as well. So.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
So, but one of the things that I used Red Dragon to advance that business with was since we're only brewing 4 barrels at a time, we can experiment a lot up here.
Yep.
Down there, we had an SNS system that our head brewer was his home system.
Okay.
And then he brought it into the brewery because his wife says, "Hey, get that crap out of the garage."
Get out of the garage. Right. Yeah.
And then, so we started engineering some beers down there, and it was his equipment. And then my partner and I down there, we said, "Hey," it was a different thing. So we ended up buying the system from him, gave him a few percentage of the brewery,
cool.
But so that we could control it. And now that's our pilot system. It's 1 barrel at a time, but 1 barrel of beer for a pilot system is all right.
Yeah, it is.
And that's a cool limited release and
Oh, absolutely. And your investment to do anything is just so minor. So you can just kick anything in the pants. I remember going down there one time. I said, "I want a Belgian triple," and my brewer said, "Well, we really need this ingredient. That cost $12."
Okay.
I was like, man, they were very budget conscious at the time that I became part of it. Back to the how do you make $1 million?
Sure. Yeah.
we're losing the money kind of thing.
How do we save $3?
Right. I mean, it really wasn't that bad, but you see, they were very, very cost conscious down there. And I'm like, hey man, remember, if we spend this $12 if this is going to make the beer perfect or as close as we can make it, then let's do that, because that $12 is going to equate to for a Belgian triple, right? So we're serving that in a half pour or something like that.
Yeah, like a 12 ounce maybe.
At $8 a glass. So 1 barrel yield. Okay, the cost of this is going to equate to, it's going to pay for itself. Guys.
Yeah, it's pennies on the dollar.
It's cost now for revenue and profit. Yeah.
And I mean, if I personally had to write the check for it, that's just what it took, and sometimes, if you got, I'm sure you got a lot of brewery owners and stuff watching this. I'm sure they're like, "Oh yeah, man, I've been down that road."
100%. We have a ton of connections, and over the years, a ton of friends in the area, all over the United States that either own head brewers, cellar workers, front of house managers, right?
Yeah, and it's. I mean, that's part of owning a small business. You just have to do what it takes to make it run. And so, I've changed the culture a little bit here in the last little over 2 years that I've been solely in charge of this place. Of, like I said, having these some anchor beers, and then it took a while for us to get back to like those heavily fruited sours and some of the other things, because we did fall a little bit in that. With my partners before, they were like, "Well, let's just make this happen. Can we make it happen this quick?" And not understanding that time horizon to make. They did understand, but this is in this business, we need to plan, 6 weeks out at least, and 3 months is a better deal, because you need your grain bill, you need your hops, you need all those things, and a good lager, you're not gonna have it in 3 weeks. In 3 weeks, if you brew it today, let's bank on 4 weeks or 5 weeks because and that was a little bit of a hard thing.
It's probably a shifty game for you guys as well. If you're on a 4-barrel system, you're probably tank space becomes an issue at that point. I can't have something sitting for 5 weeks if you need to get something out.
Absolutely. Back to the decisions that again, you don't know what you don't know.
Yep.
So we have a 4-barrel system and we have 4-barrel fermenters.
Okay. Jeez. Okay. Yeah.
Right. Well, who knew?
Yeah.
Who knew?
Yep, it's not a 1-to-1 ratio in that world, unfortunately.
We have one 9-barrel now that we got it. I don't know, a few years after we opened. Yep. So that's dedicated to our lager now, right? Because we'll double batch that into that. But it's trials and tribulations. Back when we were all idiots opening up breweries and didn't, and we were home brewers. We were this, that, and that, but you don't know the commercialization of how the right way to do it. And you're opening it on a shoestring of some sorts too. So
and I think it's one of the things we've always talked to people about, and one of the things we've always heard, especially in the brewing portion of things. When you're a home brewer, and it's very similar to business like it is to brewing. When you're a home brewer, it's not a 1-to-1 ratio. You can't scale up your home
your
brew.
recipe is not going to just automatically work.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
So you run into that with the business as well. It's like, I could run a brewery. I know this.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's so much to running a business that, you don't think about your P&Ls and all of the things that you need to make sure that you're keeping up on.
Somebody walked in the other day and they were just chatting about something, and the Alsco, the towel guys came by and they're like, yeah, we never even thought about that for a bit. Yeah, man. I got to have a floor mat and a towel.
Cleaned.
And for the guys, I don't want them using, paper towels just all those little, I like to say, ankle biters that are in business that you have to concern yourself with.
It's a lot of those nickel and dimes that you don't really know until you know.
Yeah.
Right. And it doesn't matter what industry you're in. They're always going to be there.
This one just happens to have alcohol involved, which I'm a fan of.
Which has its own ankle biters more involved.
It does. Too, especially in Virginia.
Actually, speaking of that, so today's the 9th. So tomorrow I have to make sure that I'm filed with the state for our production, tax and, those kinds of things. And,
it's always something, especially in Virginia. They'll get you 9 different ways.
Yeah, if you don't do it quarterly.
Yeah.
Yeah. Why would we do that? Why would we want to? And
yeah.
Why would we want to? Why would we want to automate something too?
Oh no, not with the government. Get out of here. That sounds too awesome.
So on a different North Carolina versus Virginia.
Yeah.
So about 5 years ago, North Carolina said, "Oh, well, I mean, they've always been like this. So if it's a beer that's served in your tap room, you don't have to register the name.
Correct.
Who gives a crap?
It's only if you're distroing.
Right. Yeah. And then if you're distroing across state lines, then you have to do ATF registration, whatever. So, but then the state of Virginia says, oh, you're making 0.01% alcohol. You need to register that name. Yeah. Maybe that's not a true number, but
no, understood.
If you're making it, and so I went to go register one of the names, and then it had a pay now thing and all that stuff for $30, $35. I paid it. And 6 months later, I went to go do my paperwork, and it wasn't in there. And I was like, I called my agent. I'm like, hey, what's up? Oh, well, you didn't mail in the check. I said, I hit the pay me now.
Exactly.
And they're like, huh?
There's a pay now one?
Oh, God, we got to check that.
But it didn't work. So, but in the state of North Carolina, before we had to mail in, do a keg collar or something like that, write it in. This is what we're making. If it's something for distro, and if it was something going in a bottle, we put the label on. So guess what they just did now? 4 or 5 years ago, and it was $5 of registration.
Checks out.
Okay, now it's free. You send it in by email.
Yep.
And within about 7 to 10 days, you're done.
Yep.
And as long as you submitted it, if you have you sent it in, you can go ahead and start doing your thing, and they're not coming after you. But Virginia is just, even I shouldn't say this, but I'm going to. Even my agent's like, yeah, it's a pain in the butt.
Yep. No, it is.
It's not something I wanted to deal with.
Only happens 4 times a year.
Yeah, right.
So,
we do have a question from the audience.
Andy wants to know what's your biggest or most unexpected angle biter since you started. And don't say Alsco. We already threw them under once.
No. Right. No, they're not an ankle biter. That's just, as we know, that's just that term of like.
Right. Just what's like an unexpected like expense or like, I don't know, some.
That wasn't in your projecting.
Like everyone expects like payroll, but like.
So I won't say that it's not necessarily an expense because it's a throughput.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But in the city of Fredericksburg, and there's several other places in the state of Virginia too, who have a meal tax. So everybody thinks about a meal, and that's a sandwich, right?
Yeah,
or whatever.
Yep.
But guess what? Once a brewery popped up in the city limits, breweries and beer got put on the meal tax program.
Well, it's basically liquid bread.
Beer is food, according to Vermont Brewery. So yeah.
Right. So I just had to put up I say I just had to, but I did it because I had a guy complain, and I'm not here to throw that guy under the bus, but he came in and had
Richard. No, I'm just kidding.
Correct. His name was Richard Cranium. But,
what a dickhead.
So the guy ordered it might have been either our barrel age or something that was like a 9 to 10% beer. So normally I just serve that in a 13 ounce for responsible serving, right? But if somebody asks and we can gauge them, then I'll serve it in a 16 ounce. And so one of our bar staff just served him that 16 ounce, which was, instead of being $10 or $9 for the 13 ounce, it was like $12, something like that. And part of that is a deterrent for people to drink high ABV.
Correct.
So, all right, now think about that. So state tax is
6%.
Now meal tax is,
what is it?
5.5? 5.8.
Okay.
So you're walking out of here with 11% tax. So the guy's like, I will give the guy credit. He sent me an email or through Facebook or something like that.
Not like
hey, I've never had a beer. One beer cost me, $13 or $14, whatever it came out to be. And I was like, huh. So, of course, I checked with my bartender. Oh, yeah, this guy, he complained to me for a second and this and that. I'm like, well, if you had this and this and this, okay, over $1 of that, what's tax?
Right.
I can't,
That's not me as a business owner. Sorry.
Right. So now I have a sign, near our checkout area that says, hey, this, and this. And if you don't like it, write to the city council and the state about this, because I can't control that. And and the city has gone after a cidery here that wasn't doing the meal tax appropriately or whatever. Maybe they were just doing
what an
yeah, right, Andrew. Absolutely.
Never even been to Fish Gardens.
Hey, so Andrew, to add to this, he sends this email to me, and I've worked on 5 continents.
Yeah.
And drink beer on 5 continents. And he had the he didn't know me, but it's okay. But he writes, I've had beer all over the world, and I've never paid $13 for a beer. I'm like, well, you've never been to Singapore, you've never been to London, you've never been to Japan, you've never been to Hong Kong.
Is going to have like
or Berlin.
Correct.
But
sounds like the only thing you paid $13 for in Singapore was something else, but that's besides the point.
Yeah.
With that, I think it's time for us to review this beer.
No, because chewing gum is illegal there, so you had to pay.
That's correct.
You had to pay the guy.
You pay an upcharge for that.
Is that an untapped glass you got there?
I do have an untapped glass because I'm a.
Are you checking in the beer right now?
That is what we are going to do, and Daniel will set it up.
We are going to check in the beer. We're going to review it.
Here's how it works.
So,
please be nice.
I'm not a chance. It's going to be a shit
Oh my gosh.
So here we go. Let's just get it. That's me fake getting up off of a couch. Perfectly sober. So again, tonight, if you're unfamiliar with the show, we do use Untapped to review beers because it is the only way for me to track how much beer I drink on a regular basis. Tonight we are doing the Fredericksburg Lager. It is from Red Dragon Brewery out of Fredericksburg, Virginia. And Tiffany and I are lucky enough. Again, it's rare that we have the beer before we have it on the show. We did have it last time we were through the tap room, which was a couple of weeks ago at this point. So
hey, Mark, hold on. I'm going to mute you because we're getting some weird feedback. Can I do that?
I don't know what you can do.
Thank you. Perfect. Thank you.
So this is a beer that, lucky enough, we've already had, which should make the review process a little quick and easier than normal. I really dig this beer personally. If you follow me on Untapped, you can see that I've already given it a 4.25.
Right.
That's out of 5 bottle caps, which is this is a fantastic lager. I agree with Mark in the sense of I think if you're going into it expecting like a really crisp lager, it doesn't have that sharpness to it.
It's a pale lager,
but right? It makes up for it. Correct. But it makes up for it with some of the other flavor notes. Really clear, easy drinking beer.
Right.
So again, for me, it's a nice, easy 4.25. I'm sure Tiffany's going to shit all over it. I don't know why she does.
I can't remember what my score was. I forgot to check my score. But no, to Daniel's point and saying a pale lager, like this is not just a standard lager. It's like an uplifted lager in the sense that it's just a slightly different style. I love pale lagers. I wish they were everywhere. And I dig this. It's really well done. And I can't remember where I gave it. So to make the math easy, let's just go 4.25 because it was about there anyway. So like again, really, really delicious. And did you already say how we rate things if like we compare it to like styles?
No, usually go ahead. Yeah.
Okay. So because everyone hates Untapped, like ourselves included, if we don't like it, we just actually don't rate it at all because
I don't want to shit on the brewery or give them bad scores. They still made a beer.
Correct. And what we like to do is we try to rate the beer against its own style. So there are like actual categories when it comes to judging beers. It has to do with everything from like color to, what the actual flavor profile is. And so when we do rate beers, we do try to keep those metrics in mind to make sure that we are actually judging it against something like standard versus our own personal preferences.
Basically, we don't want to be Untapped. I gave this IPA a 1.
I don't like IPAs. Like,
the fuck you order an IPA?
Why are you rating your IPA? Like, it's cool, man. Just let it go.
Beer and relax.
Yeah. But yeah, so anyway, great show score. And there's a reason, Mark, we invited you on, and you guys produce good beers, man.
Mark, unmute yourself because I have one more question for you before we wrap this up.
Yes, sir.
What do you got?
Real quick, I want to give you an apology.
For what?
So, my brewer, he was unable to be here. It's his daughter's birthday.
Well, happy birthday!
Yeah, happy birthday! Yeah, no doubt.
So, when I mentioned it to him after you guys reached out, he's like, "Yeah, man, I'm game for it." And then it was a couple of days. He's like, "Oh crap, I forgot." So,
that shit happens.
Why do you gotta dive him out like that on public internet?
because when I be sure and share this, I want him to see that I did that.
It's complete self-preservation.
And then he'll show it to his daughter, and she'll be like, "Oh, that's cool that you didn't do work so that you could, be at her birthday."
I love it. So I want to say one thing real quick. We really appreciate your brewery. Like I said, this is, I think, our 3rd time through there now. Anytime we're taking 95 up that way, we always make a trip through.
Great.
And it feels like a brewery that we would spend time in if we lived in the area, if that makes sense. And some of them don't.
I appreciate it.
Yeah,
and that's the demographic I'm trying to. A lot of businesses. We mentioned this in the beginning, I think, of like a lot of breweries do a lot of different things, whether it's live music, whether it's this or that. I am really aiming for the cheers mentality of like just come in and hang out. Like actually, what breweries were when we opened it, of like come in and don't like if I could not have Wi-Fi in here, if it makes sense.
Yeah, actually,
where,
yeah.
You know, where you sit there, and we talked about Singapore before. I went in one bar, so I've, again, worked all over the world, and I was in this one place, and they had a Wi-Fi sign, and it said, it had Wi-Fi, and it had a line through it, and it was like, talk to each other.
Nice, nice.
And I thought that was awesome.
Yeah.
But I want people to just come in here and chill out and relax and talk to each other. And it's funny. I knew we had to do this at this time, and all of a sudden we have sodas that come in here, and the guy came in at like 5 o'clock.
Yeah.
And we were still sitting at the bar chit-chatting about local business, all this other stuff that we don't get to chat too often. And then there was a lady that came in who's a nurse at the hospital who's come in here one time, and she's like, I love your place because I can come in here by myself and not feel like people are ogling me or whatever. I just got done with my run, and I'm just like, I just want to have a beer. And she's like, and you know, this is for me, I guess. Oh, you're so nice, and you talk to me, and I'm like, well, yeah, of course.
Where the hell else have you been?
You're purchasing my products.
No, and that's not it. I mean, she's a super nice lady.
Yeah.
But it just, people enjoy to come here and just hang out and just, that's what I want, because that's what the icon of breweries was before.
Sure.
It was a social point, just like it is in Europe and all that other stuff. Of like, it's a social point, and hopefully, the younger generation and the post-COVID people will get back to that socialization of just, hey, let's just go out and meet each other and all that stuff. And bouncing off of that, next time you guys are in town, you got my phone number. Send me a text. I hope that we can just. Actually, we did meet, didn't we? Like 6 months ago, maybe.
No, it wasn't that long ago. Yeah, we were there.
It was some other clown from down in the Tidewater area, I guess.
Some other guy with a
I'm kidding.
mullet.
Some other white dude with a beard.
No. But no, next time, because that's exactly what this is all about. It's just chilling and hanging out with people and having a good conversation. And you know what? I don't care. You want to talk about politics? We can, as long as we both walk away like, hey, that was great. It was great to learn somebody else's perspective on something. Yeah.
And in the meantime, we had a good beer too. What a win-win.
Absolutely. Or we said, you know what? That beer could be better this way.
Yeah.
Because I honestly, I thank you for the rating that you gave us. We're always open for criticism as long as it's constructive, not like you said, not I gave it a 1 because I don't like IPAs or whatever.
Right. Like that doesn't mean, is it too piney? Is it
right.
What is
like
wrong
you said,
with, right.
I check, I'm not super good with checking in stuff on tap, but I'll check it in, and sometimes I don't rate it. Yep. I have one of my assistant brewers at my other place. He did write this review one time. He says the best part of this beer went down the drain. My gosh, that was super funny. But but we have that conversation too. Like if he gives a beer a 5 or a 4.5 or better, I'm like, holy smokes, dude! I
gotta have that.
Wow. But again, just to sit there and talk about stuff and be like, oh man, and I appreciate all the input you gave for this. Because it's like a pale lager kind of mentality. It's not that crispness and we do make a nice pilsner that we do on occasion.
Yeah, pilsner is good too.
We have a couple that we make that are super crisp, but hey, you know what? Serve your community. If this is what they're liking, then that's what we make.
Yeah. I ain't mad about it.
Yeah.
Well, cheers, Mark. We got to run. We're running a little bit late. I want to say thank you for coming in.
Yeah,
and
I appreciate it.
If you're on 95, which a lot of people from our area are in some way, shape, or form, you're familiar with Fredericksburg, make sure you stop in, visit Red Dragon. They got great beers, great environment, and really appreciate it.
Put your phone
Check us out on our socials.
Talk to people.
Yeah, that's right. Follow them along. You can see it down there at the ticker at the bottom. It's got their Instagram handle. So follow along, see what beers they're having. follow along with them on Untapped as well. But again, it's a great place to be, and we always appreciate coming through there.
Yep.
Thank you so much. And if I'm down your way, I'll let you know.
Yeah, shoot us a text if you're in Tidewater. We'll go have some beers.
Yeah.
Sounds great.
All right. Cheers, Mark.
Man, it is my bedtime.
It is not my bedtime. I'm staying up all night.
I got it.
I got it. I will stay up all night for you if that's what you want.
I don't do that.
Okay, thank God.
I appreciate it.
Thanks everybody for stopping by. If you didn't see last week's show or the week before that, we have a very special show coming up next week. So make sure you brush up on your quantum physics because we have a quantum theorist by day and an author by night joining us next week to have a beer and talk quantum physics.
I'm very excited to be nerdy about it, but at the same time, I kind of want to be like Crunk and I kind of want to just ask dumb questions. So tune in next week and find out who shows up. It's like the evil and like good.
I have bad news. He has a PhD in quantum physics. Everything I ask is going to be dumb.
Well,
I don't even know how to convert miles per hour to kilometers. That's all. Anyway, everybody, thanks for sticking around with us. Again, Red Dragon Brewery, if you're in Fredericksburg, they're fantastic. Follow us as well as them through all the social medias. Thanks for TikTok for hanging out. Folks coming in and out. We really appreciate that.
Don't forget to buy our cool jacket.
Don't buy the fucking jacket. It was a joke.
Merch store.
If you buy the fucking jacket and I see you somewhere, I will buy your beer because there's no fucking way.
Challenge accepted.
Challenge accepted. We'll see you guys next Thursday where we'll argue quantum physics with an actual person who knows about them. Cheers.
Bye.